Hey, everybody. Today I want to just have a quick discussion on WEF, World Economic Forum. Not everybody will understand what I'm talking about, but the conservatives understand. And that's one of the reasons, for many, was the only reason why they voted conservative. And I really want to be talking to the conservatives that use that reason to not vote for the liberals. I know there's many reasons why to not vote for the liberals, but this is the one specifically because I hear this a lot. And I just give me 2 minutes. Just listen for 2 minutes. I promise you. I'm not hating on you guys. I'm not yelling at you guys saying, you know what you're talking about. Just give me 2 minutes. World Economic Forum. As you guys understand, it's a group of industrialists, billionaires influencing governments, policies, and whatnot through corruption and whatnot. And why you didn't vote for Mark Carney was because he's supposedly associated with them. Authoritarian government, and that's what we're going to become because of that. But why are you not talking about Danielle Smith? Give me a second. Let me explain, please. Just hold on. Bill 54, like I've discussed before, has a lot of election changes in it. And one of it, like everybody's talking about, is a referendum change in terms of making it from 20% to 10% to be able to call a referendum. I made a video on that, the issues on it and whatnot. I would recommend going to take a listen to that. But there's other things in it as well, like I stated in one of my videos. Corporations are now able to donate to political groups. Before it was banned. I know it's only $5,000, but what can happen is you can open up a bunch of different numbered corporations in Alberta and donate the max $5,000 to whatever political riding you want. How is that not concerning for you guys? Look at it this way. World Economic Forum, that group. You don't think they're going to open up a bunch of numbered companies, corporations in Alberta and donate $5,000 to whatever group they deemed will help them? That's what I would do. If I wanted to take control, how do you take control? You donate to the party that any party, but you donate a lot of money to that party. What about the third-party advertising? It went from maximum, I think, $135 or something like that, close to, but just over $100,000 to $500,000. That's a super PAC. Google what a super PAC is in the States. It's outside of the political realm. You can't audit them to see where the money's coming from. Just like corporations, you can't really audit them unless they do something with the CRA and they're not paying their taxes. You're not seeing who owns the company, especially if it's you can hide that easily who owns that numbered corporation. But getting back to the third-party advertisers, a super PAC, basically another name for a super PAC. So from $135,000 to $500,000, third-party advertisers. Now they can advertise for whatever party they want. And how are you going to audit them? As long as they're not spending more than $500,000, they can do whatever they want. Multiple third-party advertisers. It's harder with $135,000. It's easier now with $500,000 to sway which person they want to be controlling Alberta. And it doesn't matter. The Conservatives are just as corrupt as Liberals, NDP, whoever. Look at who is changing the law. Look at who is making it easier to be able to influence your elections. Not the NDP. So tell me why the WEF was infiltrating the Liberals but they're not infiltrating the Conservatives, especially in Alberta. Danielle Smith knows this. Okay? To me, it's not the WEF. You guys could say it's WEF, or other people could say it's WEF. To me, it's corruption. Okay? WEF, corruption. A rose by any other name is still a rose. Corruption is corruption. But you got to look at who's actually doing it, meaning who's changing the law. Danielle Smith and her party. This is why, in my conspiracy hat, is why she's putting this threshold for change of the referendum. For those who have grievances against Ottawa, that's fine, understandable. But now everybody's just talking about that. She's giving you a way to vote on something that will never change. You guys can't separate. Be honest with yourself. Actually look at the process to separate from Canada. Especially the Indigenous who say, you guys kick rocks. We're not leaving. So what portion of actual Alberta does Alberta own that's going to separate? If they can. How do you not see this as an issue and call this like a conspiracy or a theory on the WEF taking control of Alberta? But you'll say that to Mark Carney. Be honest with yourself. If you truly believe the WEF is having an influence on Mark Carney and the Liberals, you should be able to see the same thing with Danielle Smith in Alberta. Because if you can't see that, then we can't take you serious. Because it has nothing to do with the WEF. It only has to do with you hate the other team and nothing else. Be honest with yourself. Know that everybody can be corrupted. Not just the other team. Not just because Danielle Smith is standing up for you. She's not. Because if she was, she wouldn't be changing those other aspects of the voting regulations, of allowing corporations to donate and the third-party advertisements from $135 or somewhere around there to $500,000. And anybody can do that. Not just Canadians, anybody outside the country can come in through that direction. It should be people only allowed to. Canadian citizens should be the only ones allowed to donate. So why is she allowing everybody else to? Just on the corporation side, okay? Even just a Canadian corporation. If you have a lot of Canadian corporations donating more than the constituents, who is the party leader going to listen to the most? The one that gave the most money or the least amount of money? Be honest. Who? Stop following this division. The Canadians that are against Alberta separating are not saying you don't have a right to be upset. We're just saying stop following the people who are leading you in a wrong direction. No one wants to have a sit-down talk with you when you talk about taking your ball and going home. Especially when you're going to lose your home when you take it home. I appreciate it if you stayed to the end to listen. That means you're open-minded. And if you know someone who didn't, I don't know how to reach out to them. I'm just be open to what's going on. Don't be fooled by all these theories about the other team, because especially when it's coming from your team, you got to ask your question are they misleading me? Especially when they're changing the laws to make it easier for outside influence. And this is not coming from some Facebook meme. This is actually coming from Bill 54 legislation. And you conservatives understand about outside influence. And you're against it. And I love it for it. I love you for it. But don't make excuses for your team. All right, everybody. Appreciate the listen. Let me know if I'm out to lunch. Please let me know in the comments. Or if you agree with me. Take care. We'll talk later.